everybody. Same rink as yesterday, as before. Our view here is not great. Apologize about that. We'll be up against Orchard Lake this morning. We have not yet played them this year. So starting lineup, we'll have Cherokee at left wing, Jack Myers at center, Cam Cones at right wing, and George Bomer and Jack Hubbard back at D. All right, Myers carries it in, Orchard Lake comes up with it back into our neutral zone. All right, good save there, early pressure there from Orchard Lake. I should probably start the clock. All right, we got a line change here. We've got Albert and Wolf back at D. We've got Signs at center, Luchansky and Wilkevich at wing. Gets dumped down deep, offsides. All right, face off, center ice. Pucks up to Luchansky, brings it in the zone, takes it deep, backhand, goalie stops it. Puck's dumped down deep, we'll have Bomer and Hubbard in at D. Can't see anything in this corner down in our zone, so you guys know. All right, we'll have Wilkevich carry it in. Puck's dumped into the corner. Wilkevich is going off for a change. We've got Russo coming on. Puck gets tight up there at the blue line. Signs comes up with it. Shot low, gets blocked by a skate. Puck deep. Bomer passes it around to Hubbard. Puck out of the zone, dump back in. My internet's really choppy. I apologize, guys. We'll after the game, we'll upload another copy of the game. Hopefully, that one will not be choppy. Bomer's got it. Back around up to Russo. Hubbard sends it over to Bomer. Bomer's gonna look and sends it deep. We'll get an icing, which is fine. We were trapped out there for a while. All right, we'll have Albert and Wolf in at D. We've got Cherokee, Myers, and Cones up front. it up out of the zone. And Orchard Lake comes up with it here. Into our zone, shot and stop. We've got, looks like Weston Trigo in at goalie this morning. And centering attempt. All right, we just had our D change out. We got Bomer and Hubbard in. Kept in at the blue line by Srovi. We've got Signs taking it behind the net. We've got Clausen and Luchansky just came off the board.
Are you in the Cherokee network?
Yes.
I'm subscribed to you guys.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Thanks for watching. All right. Signs makes a move. Centers it. Oh, man. Clausen almost buried that. Nice move there. All right. Orchard Lake clears it out. It's going to go deep. No icing. Sent to the net, and Signs comes up with it. Clausen gets it dumped deep. And we'll get a few change. We've got Signs, Luchansky with a steal, tries to shoot it. And then Luke's up front. We've got Albert and Wolf back at D. All right, Luke brings it in the zone. He's got Luchansky. Nice save from the goalie, no rebound. All right, we'll have Gentner, Wokevich, and Luke's up front. Still Albert and Wolf back at D. Gentner's got it in the corner. She gets it back to Luke. Kept in at the blue line, dumped deep. To Albert, deflects off a skate, and Albert comes up with it in our zone, passes it up. All right, Russo with the puck. He's got Gentner and Wokevich. Wokevich will dump it deep. He'll go for a change. We've got Hubbard and Bomer just came in off the board, or off the bench. Who we got up front? Russo, Cones, and quick shot. Nice shot from Russo there. Snuck up over the goalie's shoulder, bar down. All right. Toledo scores first, 1-0. And Hubbard in it. D will have Myers, Russo, and Cones up front. Russo and Cones up front still. Cones dumps it deep. Myers chases it down in the corner. Boards. Bomer's going to pinch in and gets it back into the corner. Back to Hubbard, sends it up the boards. Bomer comes up with it, passes it up. All right, Cones will dump it deep. We'll go for a change. We've got Signs in off the bench. We've got Cherokee up. Albert and Wolf just came in at D. Chansky brings it in the zone. He's got Signs to his right. That snuck that. Oh man, snuck that off the post. I thought it went in from my angle, but it did not. Bounced out. His pass from Signs to Cherokee. Cherokee misses just high. Getting good pressure here the last couple minutes against Orchard Lake. Pucks up to the blue line and comes out. We'll have Bomer and Hubbard back at D. We've got Wilkevich up front, Clausen up front, and Gentner up front. All right, Hubbard dumps it in. Puck is dumped down deep, and that's going to go for icing. All right, we've got about 5 minutes left to go here in the first period. Toledo up by 1 still. We'll have Russo, Myers, Lukes up front, Hubbard and Bomer back at D. Goes down, no icing, even though it got waved off. All right, we got Albert and Wolf in at D. Still Russo, Myers, Lukes up front. Russo over to Myers, back to Russo, gets past him. Wolf will pinch in and send it back behind the net. And we have got a penalty coming, or something. No, puck's coming out of the zone. There must have been a hand pass. Nope, it's a penalty. Orchard Lake. Toledo will be on the power play here. All right, we'll have Wolf and Albert back at D. Russo, Myers, Lukes up front. And puck's out of the zone. Albert's back with it, looks at his options, gets it up to Russo. Russo makes a move. Nice shot. And puck is cleared out. That's an icing. All right, we'll have Gentner, Wilkevich, Signs up front, Hubbard and Bomer back at D. Gentner comes up with it, sends it back to Bomer at the blue line, and should have shot, could have shot anyways. Back to Bomer, Back to Gentner. Switch sides, kind of try to work the puck from this side instead. Good positioning so far from Orchard Lake. Bomer had a chance where he probably could have got a good shot off. And puck's out of the zone. Bomer's got it, sends it up the signs. And the penalty is over. We are back to 5-on-5. Well, that was too many men. Looked like it anyways. Nice steal there from Bomer. And Cherokee dumps it in. We get our D changed out. Albert and Wolf in a D. We've got Cherokee up front. Who else we got? Offsides. Still offsides. No call. All right, Cherokee, Luchansky, and I think Combs up front. All right, Cherokee's got it. Brings it in from wide. Goalie gets it with his glove. All right, get a whistle there. All right, Hubbard and Bomer at D. We've got Myers, Russo, Lukes up front. Face off win to Toledo. Russo comes up with it, takes it behind the net. And off to Lukes, gets a dump deck down to Myers. So brings it in and bounces off a skate and comes back into the neutral zone. Bomer's got it, taps it up and out of the zone. And puck's dumped deep. Hubbard will be back to get it. We got less than a minute here to go in the first period. Set down and icing. All right, we'll bring on Albert and Wolf at D. We've got Clausen, Signs, and Wokevich. Yeah, Wokevich up front. Brings it in. Curry's going to come to an end here. All right. End of one. Toledo up by 1. All right, start of the second period. We'll have George Bomer, Jack Hubbard back at D. We'll have Evan Machansky at right wing. We'll have Hudson Throvey at left wing and Holden Gentner at center. Into the zone barely, then out and in off top sides. Bomer's got it, makes some room, and passes up to Luchansky. Shots on net, goalie saves it, no rebound. We'll get a line change here. We'll have Wolf and Albert in a D. Cones, Myers, Russo up front. Shot from Wolf from the blue line, gets blocked by a skate, puck's loose in front of the net, and a few people hitting it. Goalie gets that covered. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you guys. Yeah, I can't be right at center ice because that's where the penalty boxes are, so like, it's deflected, goalie saves it. So I'm closer to one end than the other. So if I zoom in here, it's going to be too close down at the other end. So. All right, Orchard Lake has it, sends it up to the board, gets it out of the zone. Myers gets it over to Russo. Russo tries to toe drag, can't get through, still with possession of it. And puck's out of the zone. That's probably going to go all the way down to for icing, and it does. All right, we'll have Bomer and Hubbard at D. We've got Wojciech, Sainz, and Lukes up front. Bomer's going to pinch in to keep it in, and I can't see anything either along these boards here. Bomer's shot, it's deflected down, and goalie has to cover that. Hubbard's got it. Sends it over to Bomer. Bomer up to Lukes. And Lukes over to Wojciech. All right, we've got Hubbard off and Albert came on, Wolf's on. Still got Luke, Sainz, Throvey up front. Oh man, quick little backhand shot goes across the slot. icing. Gets deflected. And goalie covers. All right, we'll bring in Bober and Hubbard at D. We've got Gentner at center, Sorobi at wing, and quick shot with Sorobi. Oh, goalie stops that. Can't see who our other forward is. I mean, we had a good angle. That's a goal. Luchansky is our other forward. I think Gentner scored that one. All right, we got a 2-0 game here. All right, we'll keep those same lines. Bomer, Hubbard, D, Gentner center, Sorobi, and Luchansky up front. Hubbard goes back with it. Puck's tied up there in the corner. All right, back to the blue line. Quick shot, gets blocked. And out of the zone. Chansey is able to steal the puck away. Comes back to Bomer, the blue line, slap shot, gets deflected, bounced around, and it's sent down. That's going to go for icing. Nope. Trigo had to play it, kind of coming towards him at the net. Bad bounce off the stanchions or off the goalie, or off the ref, one of the two, but puck kind of bounced back out towards the center. Should have went out of the zone. Nice work from Hubbard back behind the net to come up with that puck. And puck's dumped down deep by Sorobi. We'll get a line change. All right. Myers has it, dumps it deep. We've got Wolf and Albert back at D, Russo, Myers, and puck goes out of play, I think. Myers, Russo, and Cones up front. Shot from Wolf, deflected, goes high. Pass behind the net. And Myers dumps it back into the corner. He'll go out for a change. Signs comes on. As the centering pass gets intercepted, and Orchard Lake's going to come up with it. center and both defensemen got kind of stuck behind the net. No one to cover the slot. We got Bomer and Hubbard just come in at D. Nice stick there from Bomer. And he's got a little bit of room to skate with it. He looks, passes to Clausen. Clausen's going to dump it in.